Good evening. My name is Jas Mogapo, and I am your host. You're watching Veterans Roundtable. We go on the air every Thursday to bring you information about local veterans, things that are happening, and activities that might be forthcoming, and any other information that we feel is helpful not only to the local veterans, but also their families. We have a great show for you tonight, and we are honored to have a couple of special guests. Both may be retirees and great Americans. To my right is Tony Wakin, and to his right is the former president, national president of the Navy Fleet Reserve Association, Gary Blackburn. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. And I'm going to ask both of you, starting with Tony, to speak to our viewers a little bit and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I'm a retired Navy. I also did a little tour with the Marines.
Mm-hmm.
And I also did a short tour with the Army. Right
Oh,
up
my
here,
goodness.
right up World War II. I've been married to the same young lady for 56 years, who was the mother of my 7 wonderful children. Been happy, and retired life has been very good. I am presently the president of the local branch 8 of the Fleet Reserve Association. I'm also a member of the DAB, the VFW, the American Legion, Autosafa, and several other organizations. So I stay pretty active.
Thank you, Tony. And 2 days ago, I became a proud member of Fleet Reserve Area 8, recruited by yours truly, yourself. Gary?
My name is Gary Blackburn. I'm past national president for Fleet Reserve Association. I, too, am a retired Navy. I'm just a baby compared to Tony. I retired in 1978. I have been married to my wife for 47 years now.
That's great.
So it's great. I've been living here in Vallejo ever since 1978. When I retired, I transferred to the Fleet Reserve in Camp Pendleton, California, where I was serving with the Marine Corps at that time, and I have been a Vallejo resident ever since.
Thank you, Gary, and folks, we're so fortunate to have both of these gentlemen. If we were to really speak to them about their experiences, this half-hour show is certainly not going to be enough. But in any case, Tony is got a wealth of information, and so does Gary. Being the former national president, he's actually had the opportunity to meet face-to-face with our commander-in-chief in Washington, D.C., and that's President Barack Obama. And thank you for spending some time with us today. Folks, in our city, the great city of Vallejo, we have many veterans organizations. As a council, they all come together and collectively manage and maintain a veterans building located at 420 Admiral Callahan Lane. And that's essentially the home of all the veterans. But tonight, we specifically want to talk about the Fleet Reserve Association. I did some checking, and basically the FRA is the leading voice of the enlisted sea service personnel on Capitol Hill. And I'm talking about the national organization. Has been since 1924, so the FRA has been around for a long time. And also congressionally chartered. It's a nonprofit organization, and it represents the interests of the sea service community before the United States Congress. The association's membership is comprised of current and former members of the United States Navy, Marine Corps, and the Coast Guard. Tony, focusing on the local organization, what else can you tell us about the officers and the membership? How often do you meet, and things like that?
Okay, we have our normal business meeting on the second Wednesday of each month. Commencing at approximately 1900, we meet at the Veterans Memorial Building and discuss the business at hand.
Yes.
We have a normal criteria that we follow during each meeting, and we try to be a service to the community-oriented organization. We do take care of our own, and we try to keep close monitor on those members that may be affirmed in some manner, and their families, keeping in close contact with those that are possibly hospitalized or otherwise incapacitated. We assist them as much as we can, both physically and financially in some cases, in many cases.
That's
We run-
that's terrific, Tony. And Gary, perhaps the FRA is unique. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's probably the only veterans organization that has an auxiliary that runs side by side with the regular members.
Several of the other veterans organizations also have an auxiliary, but yes, we do have Our Ladies Auxiliary for the Fleet Reserve Association, which does many good things and tries to help out with the community as well as nationally. Each year, the national president for the auxiliary selects a project that she tries to sponsor and raise funds for, so consequently, and we work side by side, work together and try to do everything we can to assist with that as well.
Okay, and one of the issues, and this is probably across the board an issue for many of the veterans organizations, is the lack of new members, younger members, and this is primarily because in the Bay Area, as you know, military facilities were pretty much closed. So unlike in the past when Mare Island was alive and well and nearby naval stations, Alameda, Treasure Island, there's a lot of sailors that eventually retire in the area, and they join the Fleet Reserve Association. So how are you addressing that issue, Tony, locally?
Well, unfortunately, our memberships numerically are declining. Mostly through attrition. We're losing so many members going to the Supreme Commander. We lost our president at the National Convention last month. We lost our second vice president at the local level 2 months ago. So it's been a tough haul. Working to try to get new members is getting more difficult because possibly because the word is not getting out. There's not enough advertisement, as I use that as an acronym, but we're not advertising ourselves to the maximum extent to get the recently retireds to join the organizations.
Right. And this is why, Gary, this show is so critical and so helpful to us veterans here locally. If we are trying to promote something through the local media, the newspapers do support veterans, but they are not always available. VCAT, on the other hand, has given us a forum, a regular show that goes on the air every Thursday, which is, I think, is terrific, and it's near and dear to my heart, and I'll do everything in my power to keep this show going. And it's people like you that makes the program not only entertaining, but also very, very informative. Gary, I was wondering when you were national president if Perhaps it's a little bit different in Virginia, where there's heavy Navy presence, or up in the Northwest as you travel. Perhaps recruiting members is not so difficult.
Well, the recruiting of new membership, no matter where we are, is not what you could call ideal. You have to remember that where you have the heavy presence of military, you have your San Diego, of course, Norfolk, Virginia, Everett, Washington,
Yes.
things where you have a pretty good military concentration there. It makes it a little easier because you have the access to the active duty. We concentrate a lot basically on a one-for-one type of basis with our retirees, or those even with the active duty. Whenever I see one, if you see one in uniform, talk to them, ask them about it. It's amazing what a ball cap with a ship's logo or ship's name on it or whatever is, and you saw it, says, oh, I was on the Navy and whatever, and it, you strike up a conversation, and it's a great recruiting tool. Unfortunately, basically a lot of it in the retired services, all of the veterans associations are vying for the same core figures. There's only so many out there, and every veterans organization wants you to be a member, so consequently we're oftentimes competing against each other, and with the economy, a person can only afford to be a member of so
Right.
many associations.
Exactly, and that's probably a sentiment that is shared by many, even though they're interested. If they belong to the American Legion, maybe that's enough, and they don't want to sign up for
Right.
other organizations. Now, I also belong to the Military Officers Association of America, MOA, and so are you, and they, their leadership is very much focused on lobbying for the interests of veterans. Every day, it seems to me, our benefits are under attack. Things that we thought were sacred is not. For example, healthcare, and there's many other examples where, as the budget gets tighter, the government continues to look for savings. Nothing seems to be sacred anymore. So we have organizations like the MMOA. But in my literature, it also says at the national level, Gary, that the FRA also assists
TMC?
with correct and in helping educate members of Congress.
Certainly, we do that quite frequently, as you were mentioning there, MOA, TMC, the FRA, TMC, the military coalitions, I believe it's 33 veterans associations. They oftentimes meet at our national headquarters in Alexandria, Virginia. I've been, had the honor to be there and with them on several of the meetings while they were there. And our national executive director is co-chair with the director of MOA, so we're very closely united and work together on many of the issues. And I have personally been to Congress and testified before Congress. It was an honor to be, it's a great honor to be wearing this red hat and be the past national president, where you've represented the people that are in the association, and then,
I bet it's quite an experience. And as soon as Tony allows me, maybe not a red hat, but a bona fide FRA hat, I'll become the owner of one of those.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Sometime soon. We have a little bit of time remaining, and so let's shift back to local. And I noticed that in the Navy Ball that you host annually, usually around October
13th,
Yeah.
as close to the Navy birthday as we could.
Yeah, so I missed the last one, but I won't the next one.
Well, unfortunately, as with anything that seems to be a good thing. When we had our Navy ball, other people picked up on it, and all of a sudden, a lot of the people that we were drawing upon decided they would have one as well, and it started to get, and, you know, you're vying for the same amount, like I said, you're vying for the same people. So
Yes.
consequently, we had to go down, and it gets tougher and tougher as prices go up and what you have to do, what people can afford to do, and unfortunately, we've sort of had to put that on hold. Hopefully, we can get it back and reestablish it.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk on the local level of things that we, as you stated, we try to help the locals and help our area out here. We have every year the Fleet Reserve Association, FRA, sponsors an essay contest every year. It's for the 7th through 12th grade. You do not have to be military sponsored. It's open to all school children, self-schooled or homeschooled, or in the schools there. And we hold that, and unfortunately, we don't get as much response to it as I would really like to, because that's our leaders that are coming up, and we do on different issues this year, what freedom of speech means to me, what the flag means to me, different things, Memorial Day, separate different issues, and it goes through and with monetary awards to the winners on it. So,
Well, I think that's a great program. At one point, we had a strong junior ROTC program in Vallejo, but
yes, we did.
But when Hogan became a middle school, I don't know what happened to the ROTC program.
NJROTC transferred over, as far as I know. They came to another high school, and it is still in operation.
Could
It's
be
still-
Vallejo High or Jesse Bethel.
Right, I thought it
Right,
moved
this-
over
in this
to Jesse
campus.
Bethel, but I'm not positive on that issue.
Okay.
Maybe it was Vallejo.
Okay.
But we help sponsor them, and they help us out. We try to keep a very tight association with them.
Thank you, Gary. And locally, folks, as you know, and you watching the show, you probably figured it out by now that we've joined forces. The American Legions, Disabled American Vets, the Submarine Vets, the Filipino American Retired Armed Forces Association, Fleet Reserve. Collectively, we just joined forces because we're getting fewer and fewer. And we've done marvelous in terms of at least maintaining a decent building where we could have our meetings. FRA is a very big player, and with the time remaining, Tony, maybe you can talk about some of the fundraising going on, perhaps not solely done by FRA, but collectively as a Veterans Council.
Right.
Speak about that.
As a general rule, the entire Veterans Council is involved in our crab feeds. Okay, the crab feeds don't support any single organization per se. They support the Veterans Building, the Veterans Memorial Building. The expenses there are tremendous, maintaining a building of that size. So we do have fundraising crab feeds. Matter of fact, some of the organizations have their own individual crab feed, but we have outside organizations, unions, pipe fitters, metal trades that have crab feeds. We derive income from their crab feeds by charging a percentage of each individual that attends the crab feeds. So that's where we get our funds that we maintain the building with.
Plus, the building is available for rentals on people.
And our
That
bill-
is
of
correct,
course.
yeah. We generate revenue through rentals.
Right, we have three separate entities in the building per se.
Okay,
We have a dance floor, an annex, and a dining room.
right.
And we also have a full kitchen, which is tremendous. It's a tremendous asset.
And a full bar.
Oh, we also, oh, absolutely.
With a liquor license.
Right.
Be more specific, Tony. How about the crab feed sponsored by Fleet Reserve Association? Is there one? And when is that?
No, FRA does not do a crab feed.
Oh.
We help support it. However, we do our annual Jigs dinner, or our corned beef and cabbage dinner, modeled off the old Maggie and Jigs comic strip. Many of us are old enough to remember that, and that's what it is. We have our annual corned beef and cabbage dinner as close to St. Patrick's Day as we can on that weekend.
Those are our fundraising.
That's our major
Right.
fundraiser for the year.
All right, and now let me put you both on the spot. I'm a local retiree, and I have not signed up for any organization. Why should I pick FRA Area 8?
Okay, let me put it this way. If you are a local retiree of the C services, my comment on that whenever I meet somebody who is there and says, okay, I'm a member of the VFW or I'm a member of the American Legion as well, I am also. Many of us wear many, many hats. However, my first statement on that is what is the last thing that the VA or VFW did for your pay and allowances, your quality of life issues, your medical benefits, your retired pay, your things to this. They concentrate more to the veterans side of it. We concentrate on the issues for the retiree in the C services, or for all veterans as far as that's concerned, about your pay and allowances. What Congress gives, Congress can take away. Don't ever forget that part.
That's exactly right. And
That's why we have such a strong lobby in Washington. That's what backs us, because these are the people with the experience. These are the people with the clout. When they go in there and say, hey,
Yeah.
they want to knock off medical care benefits,
Healthcare.
but these people in Washington have no perspective of what the military families go through. They say, well, we're modeled after civilian life. Civilian life has no comparison to what you give up to be a career in the military.
Exactly.
The family separations, your life is on the line. When you signed that paper, you said, I will protect my country with my life. You didn't say, I will go there whenever I feel like it, or I will quit when I want to. You sign a contract that I will protect my country and support it, the Constitution of the United States. Amen.
Amen. Very well said, Tony. And we got 3 minutes. This show goes really fast. I'd like to offer you both an opportunity before I do the closing comments to get one last chance to sum up your visit with me on this show again today, and anything you may wish to mention to not only FRA members but those who are thinking about joining. And by the way, there's a big event tomorrow. Isn't that right, Tony, at the VA building for FRA? Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night.
Our annual
Right.
Christmas dinner and meeting, we have that.
Which is one of the benefits of being a member of the Fleet Reserve.
But it's not open to the public, unfortunately,
No,
right?
it's only open to
members only.
Right.
So if you're an FRA member and you haven't heard, you heard it on this show, except this show goes on the air Thursday. It'll be after. So
There might be a
it may not work.
more. But what I would like to mention for those of you, it's very easy. We do have, the FRA does have its own website, and it's www.fra.org. It's very short and sweet. Go up on it, look us over, and make your own decisions on there. You'll get to see what we are, what we're about, and many things, and hopefully you will become a member of this association. We feel that it's the greatest organization. It's definitely there to help our sea service personnel.
I'll have to agree with you, Gary, being a former sailor myself.
I would like to say I really appreciate this opportunity to be on television and to define what our organization is about. Anyone who wishes to information or to become a member, I am available 24/7. If you need a phone number, it's 707-644-9630, You can call me at any time, period.
Thank you, Tony. And likewise, I'm grateful, honored to have somebody like you folks grace the show. We got a minute left, and folks, remember, if it's Thursday night, you can watch this show, Veterans Roundtable. We're all about veterans issues, but we also support the community. You'll see us out in the waterfront during Memorial Day, Veterans Day, and we do many other things, fundraising, to feeding the homeless, a variety of things that we veterans do to help out our community. Again, this show is sponsored by Parasafa. Again, possible only through the generosity of VCAT. And I'm glad to have a piece of veteran activity by way of television so that I can do whatever little I can to contribute to promote our veterans. I want to thank my producer, Sabrine Freeman, our camera crew, Sharon Fox, Anita, CP, our floor director, who's outside. And again, thank you very much. Happy holidays. We got a poinsettia. I'm wearing red. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Thank you.
Yep,
Thank you so much.